So I believe that the Lord wants me to share with you the dream that I had a few nights ago. So that's why I'm filming this video. I personally don't want to film this video, but I want to do how I feel I'm being led to do. So anyways, I'm gonna get straight to the point. Um, I typed it in my phone as soon as I woke up because I knew it was an important dream. So I'm gonna just tell you what I typed. In this dream, I was with a group of people and we were like in a public place. I think we were on a train, and I had this feeling inside like I was missing out on something in life because these people that I was with, they were like rebellious people. They were like a part of me feels like they were involved in witchcraft or something. Like they just felt like they were opposite of God, like they were living against God purposely. And there was a part of me while I was with them that felt like something was missing, like I was missing out on what they were involved in. And then all I remember is that I was in the classroom and the teacher in the classroom was like scolding me in a way, and like they put their hand on me, or like they either like shoved me or they touched my arm or something, and I didn't like it, but I wasn't really upset about it. But for whatever reason, I decided to show off and be angry and make a scene. And so I did. I snapped at the teacher, even though in reality in the dream I wasn't even mad, but I did it, I guess, to show that I was tough or something. I don't know, it made no sense to me. And as I did that, a classmate that was in the dream, they told me that I was tripping, that I didn't need to be acting that way, that it was unnecessary for me to react the way that I did. And it caught me off guard when the classmate said that. I did not expect him to say that. I thought, I don't know, it was a dream and I didn't expect that. I was surprised that he said that. And so then I apologized and I said, you know what, you're right. And then I said that I don't know why I said this. Again, this is just a dream. And I said that I would not be acting like that if my mother was in the room with me. That I would just be sitting quiet. That I would not be putting on a front, you know. And then all of a sudden, I started passing out like books. I think it was notebooks, and I started passing them out. And I realized that there wasn't enough for everybody. So I walked to a different part of the room where there were more books available, but those books weren't for me to touch. Like if I would have grabbed those books, it would have been wrong, and I knew that. And there was a voice that spoke to me, and it said to steal them. And I knew that that was the enemy. I knew that that was the enemy telling me to steal. And so I didn't do it. I didn't steal the books, and instead I started to preach. I started to preach about God, and I started preaching to my classmates about the Lord, right? Complete 360. And then let me see. And the guy that confronted me about the way that I acted when I got angry with the teacher, he told me, he said, "Man, I don't even believe in none of that God stuff. Don't talk to me about that. Haven't you learned anything from what I said?" And he was upset that now I was preaching about God. He felt like I was preaching about something that he didn't want to hear. And so mind you, he said that he doesn't even believe in any of that God stuff, right? And then the group of people that were with us, all of a sudden they started talking about one of their friends who's a violent person. They were talking about him like they idolized him in a sense. Like they were talking about him in a way that he was a killer and a shooter or something, right? And when they started talking about that, it just didn't sit well with me, and I walked out of the room. I walked out of the room that I just preached at, right? I was preaching to these people about God, and then they started talking about a killer, a murderer, and I walked out of that room. And instantaneously, as soon as I stepped out of that room, it's like I was transformed from the inside out. Like literally, it's like I was transformed from the inside out. Like it started with my heart, and then my mind, and then my body. And it's like I had a knowing and an understanding that I'm not just some regular human being, that that I am of a royal priesthood, that I am a part of the most important family in all of existence, and that's of the family of God, that I do belong to Jesus Christ. And it's like everything that was blocking this truth in my mind and in my heart was gone, and it's like all that was left was the truth. And the truth was that I was a child of God, a true child of God, thanks to my Lord and my Savior Jesus Christ. And then it's like I transformed into the son of a king. Like literally, it's the best way I can explain it, because my heart transformed first, then my mind, and then my body, and then I was clothed in royal garments. Like everything on me was like royalty, like royal. Like there's no other way to explain it. And I knew that I was a part of the family of God. And then it's like there was a crown that was put on my head, and it was a beautiful crown, and it was just like it was almost like just filled with glory. And while this was happening, like I can't explain it. It's like waking up from a bad dream. It's like this life that I lived on earth, it just felt like a bad dream, and I was walking into the truth. Like I was waking up to the truth. Like I was waking up into who I actually am in Jesus Christ. And then after I was clothed in these clothing and with the crown, I walked back into the room that I had walked out of. And when I walked back into that room, everybody that was in that room, it was like it was almost like they got blown up, like they disintegrated, like their bodies would just turn into dust, just turn into ash, like. And it was strange, because as I saw that, like it's like if they just got disintegrated. Like it's the only way I can explain it. I saw these two words, and the words were atomic loss. Atomic loss. And I woke up. And as soon as I woke up, I typed the dream in my phone, and then I looked up atomic loss, and I put the Bible, like atomic loss Bible. And this is what I found. Give me 1 second. As soon I googled atomic laws Bible, and the first thing that pops up is, what does the Bible say about nuclear war? And so I clicked on that. And it just had a bunch of scriptures about war, about, and you will hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you are not alarmed, for this must take place, but the end is not yet. And if those days had not been cut short, no human would be saved. But for the sake of the elect, those days will be cut short. Like there was something else that I found though. There was this okay, so there was okay, so this is the one that I had seen when I woke up. And it says, "And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their eye sockets, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. And so shall be the plague of the horse, of the mule, and of the camel, and of the donkey, and of all the beasts that shall be in these tents as they plague." And that was Zechariah 14:12-15. And then it starts talking about Bible prophecy gives our generation ample warning to be ready to flee certain nations before they experience nuclear holocaust during then it starts giving like a history on war and stuff. But I don't know if what I got from this, from the dream and the fact that it says atomic laws. Personally, this is just what I think. I could be wrong, but I was in this room with these people, right? And I was preaching to them about God. And then somebody said that he doesn't even believe in God. And then they started talking about violence and murder and idolizing this person that was a murderer. And then I left that room where those people who were talking about violence and all things that were the opposite of God and holiness, you know, they were just talking about murder and death and shooting and, demonic things that are of the devil. And I left that room. And as soon as I left that room, I was transformed. I was transformed. My heart was transformed, my mind, and then my body. And then I went back, and everybody there was dead, disintegrated. Like I don't really like. The only way I can say this, and then the words atomic laws, I can't help to feel like this is something to do with something that's gonna take place here on Earth. Um, maybe maybe the rapture. Maybe that's about the rapture. Maybe it's about, I was there and I was preaching to these people about God, and then God took me away because when I left that room, I transformed my heart, my mind, and my body and everything that I was wearing. I was clothed in royalty. I was a completely different being, different person. I was transformed as soon as I left. And then when I went back, I saw that they were all destroyed. It's like if I was raptured out of this earth and something bad happened on earth. Like nuclear war. The people who said that they don't believe in God, they were left behind and they suffered. They got destroyed by nuclear war. I don't know. This is just my take on the dream. But the reason that I'm sharing this dream is because I told God that if there's anything that he wants to say to people here on earth, I want him to look at me as a person that he can use that will say and share anything regardless of how I feel about it. I didn't want to make this video because one, I don't even know if people are gonna watch it, and two, I didn't want to sound crazy, but I don't care about sounding crazy. If God wants me to share something, I'm gonna share it because he's my God, he's my father, and I would do anything that he wants me to do. So I hope this video blesses somebody, even if it's just one person, and this blesses you in some way, somehow. Well, that's all I gotta say. God bless you.